and on the field.
I'm doing my job and have a focus energy for 60 minutes.
It's power. It's sound. Drums, horns, voices rising like thunder.
Back shoulder. Touchdown. It's an unbelievable catch. Shake it, bake it, and he makes it. Touchdown.
A clash of strength, a brotherhood commanded by coaches who turn every audible into opportunity.
Whether it's by 1 or 100, I just want to win.
We're going to put hands and feet on these boys, and we're going to win this football game.
Welcome to the A. And the 20th anniversary of the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge.
Mr. Rams, we see you. MEAC.
Another glimpse of college football glory.
The 2025 season kicked off in Ireland, and now we close out week 0 with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff from Atlanta. Tonight we'll see 2 teams ready to start their journey in hopes of getting back to this place here in December. North Carolina Central out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The Eagles ready to soar high. On the other side, out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, the Southern University Jaguars. Let me tell you, the human jukebox deep. Dancing dolls the same. They came from the bluff to the A, ready to get it going. Oh yeah, hey Mr. and Mrs. Southern University and the Royal Court, as we say hello and welcome you in. What's up, fam? Alongside my partner, Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Green, and this is not just any Jay Walker, ladies and gentlemen. This is the newly inducted into the Black College Football Hall of Fame, Jay Walker. Congratulations, partner.
Well, don't be so nice to me. Like you always said, can my head get any bigger?
It's
yes,
hard.
It can. I don't care about took too long. Should I be there? They finally got it right. I am truly humbled and honored to be one of the legends of HBCU football. But it's not about me, partner. It's not about me. It's about who's going to join my fraternity, my Black College Football Hall of Fame fraternity, and get it done on the football field.
All right, let's take a macro view of what's been happening in college athletics. A whole new frontier. While you were gone, let's catch you up really quickly. The NCAA House settlement, that means players get paid directly from their universities to Division I athletes. The NIL going crazy, name, image, and likeness. Oh, my.
There's a lot of movement, and you have to get used to the movement. But you know what we say in Black College football? The more things change, the more things stay the same. Let's handle it on the football field. Fellas, let's get ready to go.
All
Play
right.
ball.
Trey Oliver and his crew ready to go indeed. This game is everything that fans crave. Great matchup, pageantry, bands, bragging rights. It's really the ultimate introduction, if you will, of the season of HBCU excellence as we send it into the studio with Kevin Connors, Roddy, and EJ.
All right, Tiffany, thanks so much. Second all-time meeting between
HBCUs, the pageantry, and the bands, and we get to be embedded in the trenches week in and week out. It's like home, and when you hear the Southern Human Jukebox, you understand just how special they are under the direction of Dr. Kedrick Taylor. Let's listen in.
Hey, guys, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Hey, go ahead and play. Ready, breathe. Woo! Light this on fire, boy. Light it up. Let's go. Y'all finally woke up. Hey, keep that.
Legendary coach Buddy Pugh, the human joystick, Tariq Cohen. Jay, you've seen a couple of those dudes.
Been some great players here, and they've gone on to do great things outside of just college football. And another name mentioned, how about Davius Richard, the quarterback who was a legend in North Carolina Central?
All right, let's send it to the third member of our team, Quint Kesnick, with a new look downstairs with head coach Trey Oliver.
Thank you, Tiff. Coach, where do you draw confidence, or where do you draw optimism tonight in regard to your team? we on the football field, man. We playing football tonight. That's what we do. The guys prepared. We've been working this for all off season. And guys are excited. We're locked in. Had a great week of practice. They're ready to play tonight.
What do you sense emotionally from both yourself and your team?
What'd you say?
What do you sense emotionally from yourself and from your team?
Hey, we talk about 30% mentality. Not too high, not too low. So we got to control our emotions. They're going to make some plays. They're a good football team. But we just got to settle down, play football.
Culture, not scheme. Good luck, Coach. They hope to start their season in Atlanta and end it right here in December.
You're absolutely right, and the way to get there is through a few impact players that we'll see tonight on the field, and it starts with Chauncey Spikes. Can he be a playmaker on offense?
He's got great size, so he's that guy with a tremendous catch radius. Put the ball in his area, he can make the great play for you. Thomas Johnson, disruptive on the defensive line, does a good job of keeping guys off his all-conference linebacker. Max Urin, a four-year starter, plays sideline to sideline. These guys are known commodities in the world of HBCU football.
Well, talking about a known commodity, how about the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year a season ago, and Kelby Givens? You don't know his name yet? You better know it now.
And he's bigger than HBCU football, which is hard to explain that, but people know who he is. You talk about the numbers and how disruptive he can be. Interesting to see what wrinkle he will add to his game his senior year. He will be a marked man. Every offense will double team him and chip, but he still has to find creative ways to be the Kelby Givens we're used to seeing. Very disruptive.
Well, head coach Terrence Graves knows the type of special player that he has. And look, let's listen in. We got all access into the Jaguars locker room just moments ago.
And today is payday. We got to give them a show. People come from far and wide, we got to give them a show. And the show we play is Southern University football. We going out there to dominate. Dominate. We want to break that man will to compete. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do that by playing good sound football. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir. All right, hey, everybody in.
Well, it's just about showtime for both Southern and North Carolina Central. Terrence Graves in his second season as the head coach of the Jaguars, and originally from Yorktown, VA, knows very well the guy on the other sideline in Trey Oliver, as Oliver leading the helm for the sixth season at his alma mater, won an HBCU national championship back in 2022.
How about this as a sign or the chess match? So we talked to Coach Oliver before the game. He said, if we win the toss, we're going to take the football, put our offense on the field first, and go down and score. Well, they lost the toss, but Southern deferred. So by default, North Carolina Central will get the football, which is what they wanted, to have their offense on the field first, because they think this offense that averaged 35 points a game a season ago is going to be tough to stop in 2025.
For this group, runners-up out of the MEAC a season ago, capping off their fourth straight winning season. And we talked about just how special this game is for many reasons. Yes, the players on the field, but let's listen in also to the band as well. Soak it in.
It's that time of year. You hear it?
We are so connected and happy that we're back together again. Nathan Zimmer with the kicking duties for Southern as the 2025 season is underway for Southern and North Carolina Central. Chris Mosley on the return, and Mosley tripped up at about the 20-yard line, and we'll get an opportunity to see an experienced group coming back for Trey Oliver's crew. 8 returners on offense, the entire offensive line highlighted by their quarterback, though, who says, I am not anything without them. Walker Harris, preseason first-team selection.
Yeah, and you see the numbers from a season ago. Left-handed quarterback can really get rid of the ball quickly, has a lot of zip on his passes. The key will be, has the game slowed down for him. At times, he could play rushed a season ago.
On first down, he hands it off. He's got some familiar faces in the backfield. Eleni Maggio with a 4-yard gain. And one of the big stories, Jamari Taylor, the leading rusher out of the MEAC last year, transferred to Virginia, and so now it's a new stable of running backs with Chris Mosley, Maggio, and Arthur Rogers Jr. Here on 2nd and 6, Harris quickly put the ball out of his hands to Chauncey Spikes, and Spikes picks up the first down as he's brought down by Traylon James.
You know, when we talked to North Carolina Central offensive coordinator Matt Leone, he said schematically we see some matchups we can take advantage of. And normally Central likes to beat you up in the trenches and run the ball, but you kind of have a feeling their game plan is get the ball to the wide receivers, expose the secondary, which is one of the strengths or one of the questionable marks of Southern University defensively.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Jaguars. The handoff for Christian Mosley, and popped real good as the 5th-year senior took the brunt of that hit. Once again, Herman Brister III is one of those guys in the secondary that they say can step up.
Yeah, and Brister's going to do a good job of coming downhill from that safety position. He's the leader, the physical guy, but once he recognizes run, does a good job of lowering his shoulder pads. But that's a successful run. You see what they did schematically, they put the tight end on the strong side, put him in motion to see if Southern was going to adjust. Southern didn't do any shifting. They stayed in place, so basically Central was running uphill.
After that 5-yard gain, they go back to Mosley once more. Tough yards ahead. Going to be about a yard or two short, or it might be right at the marker, and they're going to give them first down.
If your team is based on the offensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage, you run the ball twice, you pick up a first down, offensive line making an impact on this drive.
Then we mentioned returning all 5 starters from a season ago, anchored by Noah McKinney, the center, A.C. McMorrow, Trayvon Humphrey along that left side. Shift there from Luke Bracey. Look for him, 84, and right, he's targeted, and the pass incomplete. Correction, that was Kyle Morgan who was the intended target.
Misread there by Harris. I mean, that was a basic combination, curl flat combination. He elected to go to the flat, which was double covered. The curl route right behind it with Chauncey Spikes wide open. Harris has to slow down a little bit. He wishes he could take that back. Poor decision.
This North Carolina Central group out of Durham, North Carolina. Harris by Wake Forest, where he played his high school ball, and Chauncey Spikes is again a guy that they're going to look to go to early and often as Horatio Johnson tackles him after a first-yard gain.
And that's the plan there. Get the ball to the guys on the outside. We talked about Chauncey Spikes in our open as an impact player there. He's got the size, has to step up for Joaquin Davis, who was their big play target a season ago. But Spikes at 6'2", 210 pounds could be a one-on-one problem as well.
Harris in this Eagles offense moving the ball well in Southern Territory. 1st and 10 from the 45 of the Jags. Harris with time, looking surveying. Luke Bracey collects it, the senior out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, a 4-yard gain. And Elijah West coming up from his nickel position to make the tackle.
Yeah, good job coming up and delivering the boom by Elijah West from that nickel back position that he plays. And keep in mind, you know, they're kind of driving on the field against a defense that's #1 in the SWAC in pass defense, but Walker Harris is finding some chinks in the armor. Several white jerseys open in the secondary.
Completed 3 of his first 4 passes. He makes the adjustment, gets the call at the line. It's going to be a no huddle offense. And Harris rears back, pass complete to Makai Wall. First down and more. As Wall was brought down by Johnson. Makai Wall, a pickup of 14 yards, and right now just full rhythm right here for Walker.
And they are frustrating him. Southern University going to exotic looks, 6-man lineup on the line of scrimmage, showing their hand, one-on-one coverage in the secondary. And when you're playing this much man-to-man and not getting to the quarterback, it's easy pickings for the offense. Like, I'm looking at their defensive line from Southern right now. Look, you got 5 guys standing up on the line of scrimmage, another 2, so the safety's already down in the box. That's one-on-one coverage to the outside.
And they go back to the run with Chris Mosley, first down. And he's inside the 15-yard line, brought down at the 12 of Southern.
You talk about running the football up the gut. Look at number 62. Noah McKinney. Get to the second level. He's the center. Helped out with a little chip block. Got up to the second level. Gets his hands on the linebacker, Vincent Page there. That's a good job by Noah McKinney. We like to call him the good troublemaker because he stays in trouble.
Inside the red zone, 10th play of the drive and our first flag of the evening. And this SWAC officiating crew led by Ryan Myers. 15 seasons in the conference.
False start offense. Number 62. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that backs him up 5 yards. But you're thinking this is a statement that Trey Oliver wanted to make coming out of the gate. And we talked about Kelby Gibbons.
Number 51.
So far, he's been non-existent in this opening drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. The offensive line is having an impact. The quarterback is finding a rhythm, accurate with his throws, attacking the man-to-man coverage. Good job in opening up the 2025 campaign for this offense.
Here's Mosley again and bull rushing ahead for yards. And Mosley with another solid carry on the ground. And this is an area where North Carolina Central was so effective last season.
Yeah, I mean, the fact they scored 31 touchdowns. Now, they had some trips where they missed some field goals, but 31 touchdowns when you're down there 46 times, the number's going to say they're not one of the better ones in the FCS, but I like teams that score touchdowns. Don't give me field goals. Put the ball over the goal line.
Second and 8 as Mosley flanks out. Empty backfield for Harris. Quickly to Spice again, and great tackle and recognition right there as Traylon James gets the TFL.
James comes over as a transfer from Prairie View A&M. Does a good job of recognizing. It's a little bubble screen and makes a big-time play from his cornerback position. He's a first-year starter for Southern University.
Came over from Prairie View in conference, and now third down of this drive for North Carolina Central.
Southern's been playing a lot of man-to-man in these situations here. But take a look for number 1, Kelby Gibbons. Let's see if he can be disruptive from this position.
Tries to get some pressure. Harris steps up, decides to tuck it and run. He's going for more. He's down at the 1-yard line. Great effort there from Walker Harris. Stopped just short of the end zone. Good tackle there by Vincent Page. But Walker Harris,
the stars being the stars. Kelby Gibbons forces him out of the pocket. Harris, a left-handed quarterback running to his right. Not easy to do. Tucks the football away, shows some athleticism, picks up a huge first down for the Eagles, making it 1st and goal from around the 1-yard line.
And Kelby Gibbons is tired. I mean, he's gassed already, and this is an impressive drive to open for North Carolina Central. Up ahead, and the Eagles with their first score of the 2025 campaign. It's Arthur Rogers Jr., and how fitting it is for the homecoming from the Snellville native.
And he's the big running back for North Carolina Central. And, you know, you get down here, goal line, who wants it more? Take a look from the aerial view. That's why you have a big running back. Contact made, 3 yards in the backfield, forward lean. He uses that 210-pound frame to spin and get into the end zone. Tough yards, but it was well worth it.
Now Caleb Robinson. We're on to attempt the extra point. New kicker here. And a 7-0 advantage to open this Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff. Okay, Eagles, we see you. Trey Oliver says, we putting that gas on them. North Carolina Central came out rolling. We got to know, represent where you from? How about Durham, North Carolina, the Bull City? Founded in 1910 by Dr. James E. Shepard, led now by Dr. Carrie G. Dixon. A number of fantastic programs, public health, criminal justice, and oh yeah, they have a law school as well. The first mayor of Atlanta, Maynard Jackson, graduated from there. Andre Leon Talley, the great fashionista, and Kim Coles, along with many others. Great pride there for the Eagles. Jared Hicks on the return as we send it down to Q. What you got, Mike?
I'm on Southern sideline waiting to see who emerges as the starting quarterback, and it will be Cameron McCoy, the transfer from Jackson State via Eastern Michigan when he started his career back in 2023. 8 appearances last year at Jackson State in relief, about 47%, but he's an electrifying runner. Live arm, was a high school pitcher. And Jay, you'll like this, threw 97 miles an hour in high school.
That's gas. All gas, no brakes, as they say. 97, give me a little off-speed stuff, he'll be a force. But the key is you can have a live arm, but playing quarterback, I need to know, is it an accurate arm? Is he throwing fastballs for strikes, or is he missing targets?
The first run here from scrimmage for Southern, and they've got a number of backs. Mike Franklin, one of those 2 transfers that came in from Jacksonville State, and you mentioned coming over from Jackson State, Cam McCoy, what they like about him, because this has been a QB battle all throughout camp, and what he offers you is obviously the ability to tuck the ball and run as well as throw.
They love dual threat quarterbacks. You know, every offensive coordinator wishes they had a guy that can throw it as well as run it. Defenses hate that. I think that may be why they're going with him early. But the unique thing about Southern University and their offensive game plan, with their philosophy with offensive coordinator Mark Frederick, they want to come out and establish the run, which is a little bit of an oxymoron for the SWAC. SWAC football is normally spread the ball all over the field, throw and strike the band. But Terrence Graves, his offense, they think they can beat you up in the trenches when they've got the big back in the backfield in Franklin. And North Carolina Central knew this was coming. When we talked to them, they said they're going to line up 11 personnel. They're going to try and have that big back wear us out and see if we can stop it. Well, they're off to a good start right now if you're Southern, because they picked up the first down in 2 plays.
Well, Franklin is considered the thunder in this running attack. Can also do it too. Oh my goodness, right up the middle. You said he was special. He can do this. Dual threat quarterback. He said, I got my legs. I got this. Touchdown, Southern. The answer, 69 yards, Cam McCoy.
When you want to bottle up and they spread you out, you got to look at the quarterback. And number 41 got caught peeking in the backfield. You lost track of where he was. And a quarterback that's got legs like McCoy is going to make you pay. Oh, quarterback's dream to see a linebacker not acknowledge him, turn on the Jets, and outran the whole Central defense.
Zimmer on for the extra point, and it's through, and it's a tie ball game. 3 plays, 80 yards, just over a minute and a half off the clock. Electrifying run from Cam McCoy to get the Jaguars on the board.
Let's take a look at how that last touchdown play came about. First, I want you to take a look at Isaiah Lawson here, the linebacker. He's going to lose position. He's going to shift the wrong way, but also going to get a little bit of help. A 12th man on the field for Southern University in the form of the umpire, James Rogers, as we run the play. Lawson's lost. He gets lost trying to make it. Oh, the umpire is in the way, but I'm putting that on Isaiah Lawson because that umpire has a right to be there. Once he lost position, that's what they call poor eye discipline. Poor eye discipline. Normally with linebackers, you talk about tackling and seeing everything. Well, that was poor eye discipline, and it cost North Carolina Central.
Well, that was huge for Southern. That was the first touchdown of the season. Last year, they didn't score in the first quarter all of 2024 until the Bayou Classic, which is at the end of the year. Now Central gets the ball back in the hands of Christian Mosley on the return. The 20, 30, he's got some speed down the sideline, and he's tripped up. A 7-all ball game as we send it back to the studio with Kevin Connors.
All right, Tiffany, Idaho, and UNLV.
Dan, and welcome back here. We saw North Carolina Central score on their first drive, 13 play, 80 yards, and here they start their second effort. Christian Mosley, who was effective on the ground, averaging nearly 8 yards per carry as he's brought down by Horatio Johnson.
And now, you know, playtime's over with. Both offenses came out, first drive, put points on the board, moved the football. Well, now the defensive coordinators have to make an impact in this game, and let's see what changes defensive coordinator Henry Miller does for Southern University. I would move those cornerbacks up. Look how deep the cushion is on the outside with these wide receivers. You're setting yourself up for the quick passing game. That's a lot of cushion. 8-9 yards per wide receiver.
pass complete, makes it look easy, complete to the outside, and that's Nasir Cosby. Well, Jay, we shouldn't be surprised that this is a quick start for both of these teams because they're HBCU national championship contenders out of the premier conferences in HBCU, the SWAC and the MEAC. And these two coaches colliding. Now, Jay, you think about just how impressive North Carolina Central has been over the years. You look at your HBCU power rankings, and no surprise that Central is right there, picked to finish second in the MEAC.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson State, the class, reigning HBCU national champion. South Carolina State wanted the season to go. They lost a lot of people, though, so we want to see how they readjust. And North Carolina Central knocking on the door. Southern was a game away from being in the Celebration Bowl a season ago as well. They have high expectations on the Bluff.
Tried to go outside and target Cosby again. No flag there. Trey Oliver asking for it, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Now something that we noticed, on my, it's early in the year about the projected Power 5 teams there. Alabama State, high expectations. Oregon State, everybody's been waiting for them to show up, right? Can they get over? They got great defense. For the first time, and I don't know how long, guess who's not in my top 5?
Florida A&M. I knew you were going to.
Well, they lost 5 games a season ago, Tip. They are what the record says they are. When's the last time they've lost that many games in a season? We'll see what Coach Colsey can do for the Rattlers.
We'll get an opportunity to see them next weekend down in Miami against Howard as the catch for a first down, 13-yard gain. And what is it that this Southern team and defense can do to slow down this Eagles offense?
They have to bring the cornerbacks up. I mean, the most you get out of a read as a quarterback is your pre-snap read. And if my pre-snap read says man-to-man coverage on the outside and you're playing me 10 yards off, I'm going to take the 6-7 yard pass. And that's what Walker Harris has done. I mean, they're getting the looks they want. Even if it's zone or man, the intermediate throws are there.
Mosley once more lowering his shoulder right to the outside, keeps on going, extra yardage, extra effort, and right at the first down marker, and another first down picked up for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is a great job by Ollie St. Louis. You see number 50 there doing a good job of pulling from his guard position. They were really excited about him. Miscommunication,
And miscommunication on the handoff there between Harris and the running back, Kelby Gibbons. First time we've called his name on a play tonight. He had 27.5 tackles for loss to lead all of FCS a season ago. Came in as a preseason All-American, and they're going to need more from him. But right now, they have figured out how to give an extra body to him and making that push up front. 2nd and 13. Nice jump cut there from Amaggio. Eleni Maggio, hard-nosed runner, physical style. Kind of puts you in the mindset of a guy by the name of Latrell Collier. Mookie Collier, remember him?
Oh, yeah, run hard, power running there. And this is a great tackle because there was daylight on the outside if they're not able to hold on. But now this is an interesting point right now. So Kelby Gibbons came off the field to take a break. Vincent Page, the starting inside backer's helmet came off, so he's on the sideline. Obvious pass situation. They probably won't get the pass pressure that they want without Gibbons on the field. If I'm Walker Harris, this is a pretty good opportunity to make something that's really low percentage, 3rd and long. Man-to-man coverage across the board. Here comes pressure.
Secondary has to be on their heels. Pass complete to Chauncey Spikes, sheds the tackle. And we're going to see what they mark it, maybe just short of the first down, maybe a yard or 2 short.
Ooh, tough spot right there. I thought he almost had the first down. They marked him 2 yards short.
And so Trey Oliver electing to keep his offense on the field. The jumbo package coming in for the Eagles.
I don't know if I'm going jumbo when you need 2 yards. I thought they got a poor spot, and you compounded going jumbo package when you need more than 1.5 yards.
Gibbons looking on this 4th down, and a timeout called by Terrence Graves. We'll step aside here. Big 4th down coming up when you come back.
The Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff is brought to you by Cricket 5G. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And Coca-Cola, fan work is thirsty work.
Atlanta is home to the College Football Hall of Fame. My partner, Jay Walker, one of 6 in the class of 2025. Congratulations again.
Oh, you got
that nice jacket. All right, big fourth down coming up here for North Carolina Central. Got to gain 2 yards, and they get it easily with Arthur Rogers Jr. He's a ball of muscle in that backfield.
Wow.
Rumbles ahead for 6 yards. And Oliver, who has not been, that confident in his kicker this year, again, replacing Juan Velarde. Didn't have the best week of practice for special teams. He says, no, if we get close, I'm going to keep going. Another double-digit drive for the Eagles here. And again, it's A.J. Rogers. This time, he's bottled up for no gain.
And if you go jumbo package and you run it up the teeth of the defense, I'm coming back. I'm going to test the guys on the inside because we know that their best lineman is arguably Noah McKinney for North Carolina Central. Let him and A.C. McMorrow, who's an experienced vet, been around for a while, and the transfer, Mullis at right guard, St. Mullis. I'm going up the middle. I'm going to get away from the bounce running game. I'm going to force Southern University to show that they can stop the interior runs of North Carolina Central.
Closing minute of the first quarter here from the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge. Feeling some pressure, avoiding it does Walker Harris, and picks up positive yardage as Elijah West brings him down. Gain of 4. West was the one who was getting the pressure.
Good job trying to force him out. And we've seen that penetration force Walker Harris to escape. Blitz from the outside, but good recognition from the left-handed quarterback to see the guy coming in his face and able to turn what would have been a negative play into a positive play.
They're going to look to the sideline and let the quarter run out. 7-all after the first 15 minutes here from Center Park Stadium, and what has been an exciting start to this Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge in its 20th edition of HBCU football, as coverage of the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Challenge you're facing defensively right now?
We gotta get the proper fits. We're not fitting like we're supposed to, and then we gotta make sure that everybody's understanding what they're doing. All they're doing is this cat and mouse game. They're doing a good job of checking off based on what we're playing leverage-wise and coverage, and so we gotta make those adjustments so we can eliminate those quick throws.
So it looks like inside runs or short throws to the outside.
Exactly. All he's doing is counting the box. He's counting the box and looking at the coverage, and we gotta make those adjustments so that we can stop all that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
But then they come out the timeout, they're doing the same thing. This is a pre-snap look. One-on-one coverage, find your best matchup. This should be an easy throw and catch for Walker Harris. Pre-snap look. You got to do something about that.
It is, and he gets the pass complete inside or just around the 5-yard line. First down as it's hauled in by Chance Peterson.
They are tipping their hand. I mean, when you know it's one-on-one coverage, give me my best matchup. So they're going to say, this is the most dangerous man on the field. So if I can get him on a slant route on the inside, that's stealing, Tiff. It's one-on-one. You got a cushion. Look how far away the defender is. That far away, easy. Tiff, I've seen you throw a nice spiral, too. You can make that throw out there.
Appreciate that, partner. And so now you've got, again, another sustained drive from North Carolina Central. Really 14 minutes of possession so far in this game. And Maggio moving ahead and going backwards as a host of Jaguars there to stop him, including Horatio Johnson and Vincent Page. Jay, to your point, we're seeing the most plays that they have given up going back to that 2024 season, back-to-back 13 play drives.
Impressive for Central, disappointing for Southern University. And this point, you're just trying to say, you know what, they pushed us around a little bit, but can we just hold them to just a field goal attempt? And it looks like the big bodies inside for Southern defensive run defense trying to make an impact now.
We'll push in the Eagles back 2 yards. As these two coaches, very familiar with one another out of the Tidewater area. Trey Oliver has never lost in Atlanta. Won back in 2021 in this Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge and also in the Celebration Bowl. Looking to add to it here as they add to their point total. 3rd and goal. Harris looking, scrambles. He's got a little edge right there near it. What's the call? They're going to say touchdown.
I'm seeing touchback. I'm seeing touchback. Did he fumble the ball?
It is a touchback indeed, and wow.
They are going to have to look at this.
Absolutely. An opportunity for Southern to gain some momentum back, but we're going to look at that one more time as we'll talk to Matt Austin on the other side so he can break it down. And the ruling on the field was a fumble. Matt Austin, we're going to bring in our rules expert. What do you see?
This was a great job of officiating on the field because I thought he was down before the ball came out. But as you can see right there, just before the knee hit the ground, the ball was loose, dropping out of the runner's hands. This was definitely a fumble recovered in the end zone for a touchback. Great job of officiating on the field.
They got it right. I mean, they got it right. It's a bang-bang play. And, you know, these guys spend all offseason trying to get plays like this right. Unfortunate for North Carolina Central, but how about Southern University defense? Bend, but don't break. But it looked like they were going to give up another touchdown. They're still in this football game tied.
And that's Gerard Hicks. Gerard Hicks, who they like to line up all over the field. The wide receiver takes the jet sweep for no gain. But you think about Vincent Page, who caused that fumble, Zay Franks with the recovery, and that's something that was a point of emphasis. Only forced 15 turnovers a season ago. They wanted more takeaways this season, and that was all important to stop that 16-play drive for the Eagles.
And you just feel like Southern has that mentality. You know, this is a ball club that won 5 overtime games a season ago, so they don't get rattled. Backs were against the wall, and they emerge.
Oh, my, it's Mike Franklin. Franklin, the thunder of this group, brought down by Malcolm Reed, 24-yard pickup. They are so high on this senior out of Daphne, Alabama, because they say he takes it right to you.
Yeah, I mean, they go with the personnel grouping that they want. They bring a 6'2", 225 running back, the transfer from Jacksonville State, running downhill. If you're a big guy, play like a big guy. And Mike Franklin showing he's one of the biggest guys on the field.
All rushing plays so far on this drive. First look at Trey Holly, the much heralded Trey Holly, who started his career at LSU, transferred in, and Holly picks up the first down. Now you're going to see something a little different from him. 5'7".
Yeah, Thunder and Lightning, good job by number 65, Chris Garcia, getting up to the second level, and the rest is all Holly.
Well, Holly, was much talk about him coming into fall camp because he's one of those notable transfers that we've seen around college football. And you say why? Well, he was the leading rusher in the state of Louisiana all time, 10,500 plus yards in his career.
Well, how about these two making an impact right now on this drive? You're talking about Franklin and Holly. The impact transfers. If we talk about college football, that's the new changing landscape. Well, they went out and recruited Thunder and Lightning.
And that is giving the Jaguars a lift after we saw their big quick punch of 3 plays in 80 yards and taking a shot here. That's a man just over the outstretched hands of Darren Morris. First pass of the night for the Jags is incomplete. Well, here's our Labor Day weekend ESPN and ABC college football lineup that starts next Thursday night. We start on ESPN with number 25, Boise State and USF, followed by Nebraska and Cincinnati. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and Colorado hosting Georgia Tech next Friday night. And an ABC triple header. Hey, look, check this out. Next Saturday, it's capped off by 9th-ranked LSU and 4th-ranked Clemson in Death Valley. High hopes for the group. Dabo Swinney with CFP National Championship hopes and aspirations. That's a good wrap-up there by Mekhi McCall. McCall, former DB who turned into a defensive lineman, just kept adding weight and then anchored himself up front along that defensive line under new defensive coordinator now, Jesse Thompson.
And they almost fooled him. Great recognition by Mekhi McCall from his defensive end position. He was running a stunt on a loop versus a quarterback draw. If he doesn't make that tackle, McCoy's still running.
There's a good look there. Jesse Thompson elevated from safeties coach to defensive coordinator. Kenny Pham on the punt. Fair caught there by Darrell Taylor. And folks, we know just how special these bands are. The Human Jukebox from Southern University, the NCCU Sound Machine. They're ready to go coming up at half. Out in Baton Rouge, the capital city of Louisiana. They call it The Bluff, founded in 1880. So many wonderful programs. I think one that stands out, again, both of these programs have law schools, notable alumni. Well, yeah, just Aeneas Williams, Mel Blount, you know him. Lou Brock, the MLB Hall of Famer. Avery Johnson, I gotta say it like this, Avery Johnson. Gotta say it like that. Former NBA player and coach and music producer, Randy Jackson. There's so many high hopes for both of these programs, Jay. Just understanding the proud history and tradition of each of these schools, but we could very well see North Carolina Central coming out of the MEAC to represent in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. And Terrence Graves made it abundantly clear to us that this is where we want to be on December 13th.
I mean, each team was a game away from making it here to the Celebration Bowl a season ago, and you know that drove them all off season. You know, all you want is the opportunity to play for a national championship, and these teams were so close, but yet it seems so far. So we'll see what the storyline is, and I know the conference rivals are starting to watch this. Nice throw.
And the hit on Chance Peters, but the first down picked
the effort, though, Tiff. It's the effort.
Yeah.
He got hit, but did you see him go airborne, just being reckless with his ball, with his body, accurately thrown pass? But you see the tough guy, Peter, said, I don't care. I'm going up and over. Hit me if you want to. Oh, it's football.
We continue to see that more and more. Look, Saquon Barkley did it better than anybody. But yeah. Look at top that preseason All MEAC second team selection in Chance Peterson, and they want their wideouts to be special. Walker Harris looking again, immediately coming up. Great recognition from Michael Jones, Mike Jones Jr.
We're seeing this, this is that leap right here, going up, sacrificing your body. And, you mentioned Saquon Barkley did it best, but you know what football players say? Say, Saquon Barkley going to get a lot of dudes jacked up because they're going to try and do that. and it ain't going to go well for all of them, trust me. I know it's incorrect English, but it ain't going to go well for some people trying to do that.
Wait a minute. First down picked up by Chauncey Spikes, a guy who they have been really high on, who has gotten better year over year, and again, a player that you said we should keep our eye on, Jay.
Yeah, and he's seen it. He's like, when you're a big target, you know what you say. If it's man-to-man coverage, all I got to do is make the guy guard me miss. It's going to take a while for his help to get there. So they're running 7-8-yard routes with Spikes. He's using his big frame to make the cornerback miss the tackle and then picking up more yards after the catch.
5 receptions, 40 yards for the senior Spikes. Now 1st and 10 from the Central 38. Again, out of the hands of Walker Harris into Chance Peterson. And boy, he felt that hit from trailing James. Ouch.
James getting picked on a little bit from the cornerback position, and This is number 5 taking on number 5. But once again, you see how quickly Walker Harris is able to get rid of the football with a shield a block and then come up with a little hit, little double team package. Horatio Johnson coming from his safety position.
Hey, Q, you were right down there on the field. You were right in front.
Trey Oliver, he wanted the targeting call, and you look up at the big screen, but the officials missed it or didn't deem it to be that serious. Hey, one thing, Tiff, to keep your eye on, the total plays and time of possession in this game, really stacking in the favor of North Carolina Central. Now, one thing to benefit Southern tonight, it's really cool. It's like 72 degrees here in Atlanta. This is the coldest MEAC SWAC challenge I've ever experienced. So Southern catches a break there, but the plays are stacking up against them.
Well, you're absolutely right. A little breeze coming into our booth just as you say that. And we saw a little bit of weather, some rainfall before the game. And systems have been moving around the Atlanta area leading up to tonight's big matchup.
Man coverage on the outside. He's making a quick decision where to go with it. You just can't do it.
Whoa, Bryson pops right back up. The big tight end keeps on going. We heard no whistles, so he said, let me keep going, and Horatio Johnson saves from a touchdown, 50 yards, and down to the 2-yard line of Southern. Here's a look again.
I mean, you see, he's spinning around, and as he's turning, the ball is coming out. Yeah, that is a fumble, and good recognition by Gracie.
And into the end zone, and Chris Mosley with the score, or before so. I think Southern said, wait a minute, we got to take another look at that again. As Terrence Graves immediately running out onto the field and saying, hold up.
Prior to the snap, time, Southern, the second of the half. The previous play is on a further review.
And a very good timeout. Yep. A very good timeout. Make him at least give yourself a chance. Make him take a look at this and see whether or not it's a fumble. But I don't think Coach Graves is going to like it. We'll find out on the other side.
As a director, confidence was always my strong suit, but psoriasis stripped it away.
And that last play was under review. Chance Peterson. Matt, was he down or did the ball come out? What do you say?
I think he was definitely down. He still had control of the ball when his elbow hit. The elbow made him down. The ground cannot cause a fumble in college. So I've got him down. I got this as being a good overturn.
Please reset the game clock to 6:03. 6:03. The clock will start on my whistle.
And one of the things that Matt had said to us, normally on a play like that when a player's trying to keep his balance, like 95% of the time the guy's going to be down. So kind of thought the official should have blown that whistle in anticipation of that. But I also like the fact that Southern University gets a timeout back, and we'll explain that after this play.
1st and 10, and Harris hands it off to Mosley. Chris Mosley along the outside, and Chris Mosley pushed out by Horatio Johnson. That explosiveness that we saw. They say he can turn up the speed quickly.
Right back at it. They were very excited about Mosley. Look at the vision. Sets up the safety. A little bit of a poor tackling angle by Horatio Johnson on that play. I'm sorry, that's Herman Brister, the third that missed the tackle, and Johnson backs it up.
And Mosley once again, but back to your point, Jay, all plays are reviewable. And so they shouldn't have had to spend a timeout. They awarded the timeout back. Another look here at this run by Chris Mosley, 35 yards. The question is, he was hugging that sideline, And great camera work here.
Look at that body control. Oh, he's out on the 9-yard line. They did a pretty decent job getting it right, but great body control on display by Chris Mosley.
And hats off to Wyan Myers and this officiating crew out of the SWAC. A couple of reviews, and they've done a really nice job here tonight as Eleni Maggio on the carry.
And little surprise at the play selection here by North Carolina Central. Why not spread them out with the big targets, get the look you want, and then bring in your big running back in Arthur Rogers.
And Mosley once again, but back to your point, Jay, all plays are reviewable. And so they shouldn't have had to spend a timeout. They awarded the timeout. Back another look here at this run by reviews, and they've done a really nice job here tonight as Eleni Maggio on the carry.
And little surprise at the play selection here by North Carolina Central. Why not spread them out with the big targets, get the look you want, and then bring in your big running back in Arthur Rogers, who we've seen was the beef guy. But instead, they're going with Maggio, a little bit smaller. If you're going to play big boy football down in the red zone, you got to play big boy football.
Our rules expert, Matt Austin, Quick Kesnick down on the field. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green here with you. We saw both teams score on their opening drive. Since then, they've moved the ball well down the field, and now Central looking to punch it in here on 3rd and goal. Harris has a man, steps up in the middle. He's stopped, and the tackle made by Mike Jones as a flag flies out.
Holding. Offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that goes against the experienced left guard and A.C. McMoore, as consistent as they come.
Look at this. Take a look at number 30. Out the backfield. Once he does a little chip, you'll see him. He's looking at him, and he checks off of him. He was open. That's a look there where he could have gotten the ball to Maggio out of the backfield. Poor decision, elected to run the football.
3rd and goal now from the 14.5-yard line. And Noah McKinney snaps it away. Harris looking, threads it in, and brought it down at the last minute by Herman Brister III.
I think this is going to force North Carolina Central to go for a field goal try, but I want to go back to that play they had on 3rd and 5. Take a as you look at the last play, where a great break on the ball by Brister. Ball just a little bit late. But on this previous play, 3rd down, look at the running back, number 30. He's open. Get him that ball right there. Come up, make the tackle.
31-yard attempt from Caleb Robinson, his first field goal of the 2025 season. That breaks the tie, and the Eagles out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference with a 10-7 advantage here in the first half. And when you think about ATL, how about Cabbagetown? It's located in the east side of town. It's got to become a hub for the film and entertainment industry. And we just wanted to get all sights and sounds as Atlanta is the backdrop of tonight's game. So we decided to go driving around during the day. I think I hit a peach tree on the way somewhere.
A peach
somehow.
tree?
Yeah.
Or how many peach trees? Peachtree Place, Peachtree Avenue, Peachtree Boulevard, Peachtree Drive.
And the band's getting ready for the halftime performance. We'll see the human jukebox from Southern University, the NCCU sound machine.
And I don't know the last time that America's seen the human jukebox in person.
You're right.
You know, live, we're going to show it at halftime. No videos, you're going to see him get busy. One of the greatest HBCU bands.
No argument there, Jay. No argument there. Could we see them in the Red Lobster Band of the Year competition in December? Jason Gabriel on the return and quickly brought down as we take a look at our game track, brought to you by Cricket 5G. And we saw this on the opening drive for the Eagles to start the season. Rodgers with that punch in, and then Cam McCoy with that explosive 69-yard TD run to answer for Southern. Since then, it's been pretty quiet outside of that last possession for the Eagles, which netted in a field goal.
Southern fortunate to be down by just 3 points. North Carolina Central controlling the time of possession the way they have. Has to be disappointed to be only up by 3.
Well, just the 10th play of the game for the Jaguars. A little shake and bake as McCoy. You see him dancing with his legs, and why Mark Frederick said, well, this is a tough decision between him and Jalen Woods, because he can do it.
Well,
he's getting tuned up.
This is why you want mobile quarterbacks. The play breaks down. The 3 white jerseys there should be a negative play, but the athleticism of McCoy able to turn a negative play to a 5-yard gain.
Quickly out to Darren Moore. Second time he's been targeted tonight. The leading receiver who's returned back healthy this year for the Jaguars. They are excited that he is ready to go for this year. And the first completion of the night, Jay, we have not seen a lot of plays from Southern, and what we have seen have been primarily on the ground. Just the second attempted pass tonight, that one complete to Morris.
32. This is dangerous if you're North Carolina Central, because you don't mind giving up the 2 yards, but you can't give up the explosive play.
Oh, get it out there. Trey Holland says, try to catch me if you can. Oh, yeah. In for the score. Fields clean. No flags. 80-yard TD run. Lightning just struck in a bottle in the body of Trey Holland.
I mean, sometimes, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do, Tiff, calling a game of football. My quote word, you can live with giving up the 2 yards. You can't give up the explosive play. And right in the middle of that run, I said, boom. I mean, that was a huge play. I mean, look at Southern University running the football with the big play variety. North Carolina Central having trouble making the tackles.
Zimmer, the extra point, good, longer than any play for Southern last season. 2 explosive runs and 2 touchdowns for Southern in this game.
I mean, you know, the big play offense and trying to make it count. We talked about Trey Holly, very excited to get this young man, one of the best running backs in the history of Louisiana high school football, making an impact, and that's what you do. They say he can just hit different. And he recognizes no safety in the middle field. All I have to do is make one guy miss at the line of scrimmage, and it's a foot race. That was easy for Southern University.
And the reaction for his first score in a Southern University Jaguar uniform out of Farmerville, Louisiana. And folks at Union Parish, this is all they did. All-time leading scorer with 10,532 career rushing yards, a high school record. Appeared in 3 games, got off to a quick start for the Tigers, named SEC Freshman of the Week for LSU before having some off-the-field issues, then made the transition, still in the sitting of Baton Rouge, enrolled as a walk-on to this team and was eligible to play immediately. The rag doll, is that Chucky in his hand? Oh my goodness.
Got a Chucky doll.
Bad boy.
You know, we talk
Don't
about
mess with him.
We try and talk about impact transfers and everything. Well, you know, I've got sources out there that say he could be the best player in FCS HBCU football. And with explosion and vision like that, he's on his way there. He rushed for 10 G's in high school. I'm not even going to call it 10,000. That's 10 G's. 4 years of high school, that's 2,500 yards a season. That's productivity right there.
We'll catch you up on tomorrow morning, because at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, we'll have the Little League.
That's Trey Holly's Chucky doll that he has brought to football games since he was a young kid, a little guy back in Louisiana. And here he is scoring his first touchdown for Southern, and there's Chucky under his arm. How cute.
I've never heard the word
I've never seen
Chucky.
I've never seen a running back grab a doll after a touchdown and give it hugs.
If it works, Q, hey, you better travel Chucky first class.
That's right. Chucky gonna stay with him wherever he goes. He's brought him 10 G's plus in high school, and now he could be the next guy. Remember Leonard Tillery, who was that guy for Southern some years ago? And then you think about what you need to be successful. Trey Holly's like, just give me Chucky. Give me Chucky and block it up front. I got the rest.
And everything will be all right.
Rufino Van Gates, another impact player on the other side here on the return for North Carolina Central. Solid game for them. Some extracurricular afterward. Just near that North Carolina Central sideline. And was it maybe because we saw Chucky that some mischief maybe started to unfold after that return?
It'll happen. If you notice, most fights in either college or pro games happen on special teams. Because the special teams folks, you know, they're jacked up. You know, they don't have to get ready and rest for the next play. So not surprised. You want to go out there and set the tone. And we expect things to get chippy. You know, they're going to get chippy. 2 top 5 HBCU programs trying to establish that they're superior on the field tonight. Not only that, but this is the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Some conference bragging rights here on the line.
3-game winning streak for the SWAC. North Carolina Central, the last to win it for the MEAC in 2021. Best starting field position. And said, okay, no problem. That means a shorter distance to run and touchdown. Christian Mosley.
You know, we saw a Chucky doll over there. You know, I think Chris Mosley's like, I don't have time for I'm not playing with no Barbie dolls over here now. This is a good job by Chris Mosley with the recognition. He's going to size up Herman Brister III. Number 3 will come on your screen. Poor angle, turns on the speed. Home run hitters with elite speed know how to take angles. And Chris Mosley did a great job of taking the angle of the safety, Herman Brister III.
And the joy in the foreground, or the background, and the disappointment closer in. 1 play, 1 touchdown. Christian Mosley, the night that he has had, 134 yards on the ground. And so many questions. Who was going to step up and replace Jamari Taylor, MEAC leading rusher from a season ago, who departed from the Eagles? Christian Mosley said, well, I will shoulder that long alongside Arthur Rogers, but Mosley right now showing out in prime time.
I mean, absolutely. And it's funny because both teams want to establish they can run the football, and both teams are running the football. Defensively, we're starting to see the weaknesses in the rush defense. So who's going to be able to shore up their defense against the run is a team that's going to have the greater chance of success at emerging victorious. And you know, halftime, I would not want to be a defensive player in the locker room, because that's when you just go in the locker room, you just stay quiet, don't laugh, don't joke, because the coordinator is going to hand out some verbal lessons to the defensive players.
Robinson on the kick, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Well, for 20 years, All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to All-State. Well, Jay, we anticipated that this would be a phenomenal matchup. You underscored before, these two teams could be here at the end of the season, each vying for an opportunity to mark their way, or march their way back here for the Cricket Celebration Bowl. And those last 2 plays just lit up this Center Park Stadium. Great tackle and pursuit there. Isaiah Lawson, the 5th-year senior out of Queens, New York, with a tackle for loss for 1.
Lawson and Thomas Johnson doing a good job, but we're seeing Southern, you know, they've got a thunder and lightning package. So we saw the lightning in Holly. When you got 2 good running backs, you have to have the timing of them. And now they're electing to go with the thunder. But I thought the Lightning looked pretty good to me. It's going to be hard for me to take Trey Holly off the field unless he tells me he's tired with that home run hitting ability he's got.
Mark Frederick knew that his running back room was deep coming into the season. Cam McCoy flanks it out to Cam Jefferson. First reception of the night for the redshirt sophomore. And so with this jockeying back and forth with big plays, is it the last one to hit you that could win this game?
I mean, absolutely. If it keeps going this way until the defenses figure out how to slow down the offense, particularly running the football. Now, I want to see right now what is Jesse Thompson, the defensive coordinator for Central, going to dial up. First time they've had Southern in an obvious passing situation. They have to pass the football. Do you sit back and play soft zone coverage with a mobile quarterback, or do you try to contain him and do some type of pass rush with a containment on the quarterback? They've got one linebacker in the middle of the field right now.
McCoy decides to take off and run, picks up the first down. They cannot contain him as Malcolm Reed was able to make the tackle, but a first down, and the drive keeps going.
And as I was talking, Cameron McCoy was seeing the same thing I saw. They have one linebacker in the middle of the field. All I have to do is make him miss. He made one cut, picked up the first down to keep the drive alive.
Precious seconds ticking off the clock for Southern. Taking a shot deep. Darren Morris, the intended target. A lot of contact with him and Jakari Martin, and you can see it as Morris trying to argue his case. And everybody inside the stadium saw that.
And Cameron McCoy, we've seen him throw some pretty passes deep. You know, he's got a nice touch on that.
They said, yes, he's got great legs, but don't let the smooth taste fool you. He's got a live arm, too.
Got to be a quarterback.
Pass interference, defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So now that moves Southern into Eagles territory after this pass interference.
Oh, yeah.
By the Eagles cornerback.
And that's a good play by Jakari Martin, number 6. Don't give up the touchdown. Don't give up the big play. Give up the penalty.
Southern has 2 timeouts to work with as well. That one batted at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. That interior line of North Carolina Central getting a hand on it. Thomas Johnson, who was hampered by injury a season ago. They expect big things out of him. Only 3 games last year before missing the rest of the season. And Johnson, I talked to that man who is on a mission this season and wanted to stand out and be a little bit better than Kelby Gibbons in tonight's game. A chip on his shoulder. 2nd and 10 here. They elect to run the football with Mike Franklin. Again, they've got 2 timeouts.
Use one now.
And they should use one here.
What are you waiting on? Use the timeout. Oh, they let about 9 seconds go off the clock.
And so this leaves room, Jay, for probably 2 more plays. Well, while we have the time, let's let you know about the all-new ESPN app. It is here, ladies and gentlemen, and for the best experience, all you need to do is follow these 3 simple steps. First, you'll need the ESPN. To buy the ESPN linear networks direct to consumer here. 3rd and 7, 9 seconds remaining in the half. Off the timeout.
That's
and an excellent play by Thomas Johnson. Once again, got pressure up the middle. Read it well.
I mean, he showed the athleticism and the jets. They had a 3-man pass rush. And watch number 10 just slide on the inside of Brian Wallace. 1-man wrecking crew makes a fantastic play to take the momentum away from this Southern offense.
So timeout taken.
Please reset the game clock to 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
Central took that timeout. I'll tell you one of those interesting stories that you love to hear about in college football. Thomas Johnson, born in Flint, Michigan, moved to California with his family, was ready and slated to go JUCO, had his uniform and everything, gets a call on a Friday from North Carolina Central. They say, hey, look, we're willing to offer you a full scholarship. Sight unseen, had never heard of North Carolina Central. By Sunday, he was there and has been a member of this team since that 2022 season.
So we'll give you a little California lingo. When he got that call from North Carolina Central, you know what he told his folks?
What's that?
I'm about to bone out. Meaning I'm about to leave. I'm gone. That's what we say West Coast. I'm about to bone out. Mom, Dad, he's really done a good job of making the adjustment to life in North Carolina as well.
The flank out to Jefferson, and Jefferson stays in bounds, and that's the final play of the first half. At the half, look, folks, you're tuning in for the next show. We already know what's coming up as we send it down the queue.
North Carolina Central Sound Machine is on deck for their halftime presentation. What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Tiana Cherry from Durham, North Carolina.
What are you performing?
We're going to have You by Lloyd, a couple of Sierra songs, and some Drake. It's going to be a fun time out there.
What's the best song we're going to hear?
Probably that dance mix. It's got a whole bunch of songs mixed in it, but it's gonna be fire. I'm telling you.
Halftime coming up. Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
I
want to see what they want to do. They're the underdog. Going into halftime, they're the underdog, but look for them to show some fight, Tim.
This.
Experience the sound.
Machine getting down. More to come when we come back to Atlanta.
Music up, doors off.
Get down. Javon Alexander Wilson, the NCCU sound machine. The human jukebox looking to answer on the other side.
Let's go, bud.
The show-stopping Southern University human jukebox under the direction of Dr. Kendrick Taylor. No hat. Oh, by the way, smooth, brother, smooth.
I like the selection, and in true Southern form, those figures that they do when they march and step there sounds good. And oh, what's this? They're gonna bring a little dancing dog. Oh, they're putting on a show. If it isn't love, with my bands all year. That's cheap. That's cheap code. If it isn't love with the dancing dog and the jukebox, oh, that's cheap.
Of the season ends in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the Red Lobster Band of the Year competition. In its third season, could we see either the sound machine or the human jukebox? Welcome back to the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff in its 20th edition. And how about spelling out SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference, as the human box from Southern University set to close out their show. And Jay Walker, Tiffany Green, and your thoughts on the first bands that we saw this season?
Well, to get it going, you know, I'm a football guy, so it's all about the Cricket Celebration Ball, right? But what about the Band of the Year competition? I mean, the Band of the Year competition, they give it out the night before. It's going to be good. The defending champion are your Rattlers from Florida A&M. Southern keeps playing like that, it's going to be hard to hold on to that title.
Who are the reigning champions?
Florida A&M University.
There you go.
100.
Out of Division I. Thank you very much. Now, Q, you're with us all the time, both at the Band of the Year competition and here tonight. So from a musicality perspective, what did you think?
Wow, Southern. Cool it now. You got to go back at the new edition. That's from when I was a kid. I used to sing that song when I was a kid. They were great. The fabulous dancing dolls, just the orchestration, so elegant, so in sync. That was a winner, man. That's the best I'll probably see all season.
They put you in the mindset of Hollywood elegance and softness as we take a look at tonight's playbook brought to you by Coca-Cola. And looking back at that first half, Jay, we again saw a number of big booming plays, and Trey Holly was the latest.
Yeah, and I think they were disappointed in the poor tackling, but look at this lane right there in the vision. Once Trey Holly knew where he had to get to on the football field, he got there in a hurry. I think the tackling has to be shored up, but Chris Mosley not to be undone. Right after that play, what does he do? Well, I'm a home run hitter as well, so that's a good job of vision by Mosley as well. But both offensive lines, those are the strengths of these offenses. They really came up to play and really had huge holes for their running game.
When you think about total offense, nearly 300 yards for the Eagles as we check out the first half stats brought to you by Cricket 5G. The time of possession stands out, the plays, and while it feels like Central is dominating in all those categories, it's just a three-point ball game.
Yeah, I mean, 300 yards total offense in one half, and you only have 17 points. They've got to do better than that. Give credit to Southern University. If the game continues like this, you have to like Southern's chances, because let's not forget, a season ago, they won 5 overtime games. They can win the close football game. So Coach Graves has to be telling his team, hey, just hang in there, boys. We know the way this game's going to turn out.
Well, take care of Chucky. Give him a special place on the sideline for Trey Holly, as Q told us earlier that it was his good luck charm, if you will, from childhood. Meanwhile, Walker Harris, a known commodity in HBCU football, returning for a second season. What did you think of him?
I thought he did really good decisions in the passing game. He got rid of the football quickly. He was decisive. He was accurate. But let's not forget, he took 7 points off the board trying to do a little too much with the fumble in the end zone. Instead of them scoring a touchdown, it ended up being Southern's ball. You can't take points off the board if you're a quarterback.
Harris, 14 of 18 through the first 2 quarters, 135 yards. Now, I'm curious to know defensively, what adjustments do they have to make? Does Southern have to make to try to slow things down for Walker Harris? And how does Terrence Graves continue to ride the momentum of Cam McCoy at quarterback?
I think what they've done, they've kind of outsmarted themselves. So Kelby Gibbons is normally playing the defensive end position on the right side, but because Walker Harris is a lefty, they moved him to the left side. So he's trying to do that. Put him back where he can be disruptive. Put him back to his natural position, because he's going to have to make one of those breakout plays right now, and he's just playing out of position right now on the other side. Move him up and down the line. He's been stationary, and North Carolina Central has done a really good job of basically neutralizing the #1 defensive player in HBCU football.
I was going to say, Kelby Gibbons, FCS All-American, has had a quiet night. We'll see if he makes the adjustments necessary to be disruptive here in this second half. Well, 2 teams with hopes of winning their conferences. Obviously, bragging rights tonight for the MEAC, and North Carolina Central trying to reclaim the title here in this challenge kickoff. They were the last to win it in 2021. 2 title contenders going head-to-head. Jared Hicks on the return across the 20 and stopped near the 23-yard line as we send it down to Quinn Cassidy.
Winning defensively on first down is paramount for Coach Terrence Graves of Southern, is what he just told me. But the biggest change you'll see in the second half for Southern is that they brought their defensive coordinator down from the box, down to the field. That is Henry Miller right there with the headset on, with the blue top on. He was up in the booth in the first half. He's down on the sideline in the second half. That sends like a sense of urgency, doesn't it, Jay, to the defensive front and secondary?
And Q, let me tell you, that's great scouting by you to notice that. So that's what I'm talking about. That's journalism 101 with an A+. But Henry Miller has to make the adjustment, because what you're doing from the box just has not been working. We'll see. Sometimes you do that just so you can look your players in the eye. I think Henry Miller may want to look Kelby Gibbons in the eye. You want to look at his safeties in the eye. Herman Brisker, tough first half. Look him in his eye. Son, I need you to do better. And let's see how they respond.
Offensively, 225 total yards gained in that first half for the Jags. 4 of 6 for Cam McCoy in this game. So we'll see if they let him unload with his arm as well. But they've had success on the ground. We mentioned those big plays. 200+ yards picked up on the ground. And Christian Smith, first time we've called his name tonight, coming up with the TFL.
In the big third down, and let me let our viewers know, this is one of the differences you get in HBCU football. We talk about the pageantry. After the halftime show, there's so much energy. The fans are dead right now. They're dead. They're trying to recover from what they saw at halftime with the shows, so you won't hear the natural crowd noise you would in a third down passing situation. As a player, you have to realize it all starts with me on the field. This is a chance for me to make a big play to help my team.
Mike Franklin to the left of Cam McCoy in the backfield here on 3rd and 6. Pulls out, looks, and bounces it, and the pass incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down. And so sometimes you got to bring your own energy.
Yes.
Right, Jay?
We've seen it, Tip. Everywhere we go, this lull happens at every game, particularly at Classic. Bring your own energy. Southern offense comes out flat. One of their first 3 and outs of the game. North Carolina Central ready to respond, try to increase their lead.
The looks on those fans' faces. Great work by our director to catch those shots. Illustrates your point exactly, and that one was shanked. And it's going to be great starting field position for Central.
This is a shank. I just think the pass rush, the pump block was coming, and they felt it, and he shanked it.
7-yard punt from Kenny Pham. And you know what? It's the start of the season. Sometimes it just bees like that sometimes. But then other times,
ouch,
it's like this. Clock it. Can go in Atlanta, so many different neighborhoods. Look, we couldn't shoot it at night, so we had to roam around during the day. The old 4th Ward, historic indeed, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached. This is the birthplace of MLK, located on the east side of Atlanta, and we know that this city is the heartbeat of the culture, but also played such a significant role in the civil rights movement.
And let's not forget AUC right down the street, where Morehouse College is located, along with Spelman, Clark Atlanta.
And the resurgence of Morris Brown. And Christian Mosley, once again, nice bounce off, and he's still on his feet. And Christian Mosley, who said he came into this season ready to assume the load. And 20-yard pickup right here from Mosley.
You have to have good balance to be a great running back, and the first contact can't bring you down. You have to stay on your feet, keep your legs churning. Good job of keeping his feet by Christian Mosley.
Do you see that, averaging 14 yards per carry tonight for Mosley? So continue to feed him. 5th-year senior out of Fort Worth, Texas.
What we talked about was the offensive line, and he's doing a good job playing behind his shoulder pass.
And a player down on the field, that's right tackle Jaquan Sprinkle, who has come off a terrific camp, 6'3", 295 pounds, out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. And a timeout on the field, and we will step aside right here as well. Of the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge, and these are the faces of who was there on the ground level. Dr. Thomas, MEAC Commissioner Emeritus, standing next to Dr. Sonia Stills, current Commissioner. Dr. Charles McClellan out of the SWAC, Clint Overby, part of ESPN, and of course John Grant, who has done a terrific job as the executive director, moving it forward. The 2 coaches from that original game in Birmingham in 2005, Buddy Pugh from South Carolina State, and
Charlie Coe from Alabama State. Also, the commissioner, former commissioner of the SWAC, Robert Bowles. Good to see Dr. Bowles. He had a vision. And, you know, on the incomplete pass, we'll say that Sprinkle, the lineman Sprinkle from North Carolina Central, looks like he had a cramp as he walked off the field. But we'll go back and play homage, you know. 20-year anniversary, and, you know, this is my 20th year working for ESPN as well. So I've been fortunate to be with all these games, and was there when it was played in Birmingham, and they moved it to Orlando, then they moved it to home and home. I like it here in Atlanta. I like it here in Atlanta. Atlanta's done a good job, and the vision that those gentlemen you saw had is really showing up here, in the future is bright.
And here since 2018 here on 3rd and 6, 50% so far tonight on converting wide open. open, and Harris makes the throw into the hands of a diving Luke Bracey. Picks up the first down and down at the 3-yard line. So now it's going to bring up 1st and goal.
And this is good quarterback play by Walker Harris. So he's not able to get rid of the ball quickly, so he has to go through his progressions. But as he steps up, we've seen him turn the ball over. Now he's stepping up, looking for somebody downfield, able to find his tight end to pick up the first down.
Well, Luke Bracey, who we remember had some meaningful snaps in that Celebration Bowl in 2022. Big things expected this year. Coming in, and you see Kelby Givens moving
offside defense. Number 1. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And again, Q said, look, Henry Miller had to come out of the booth down on the field. And he's barking to him, letting him know, let's move, let's ship it. So that's an adjustment for Henry Miller and these players. And now 1st and goal, a little bit closer for Central as they hand it off to Rogers again, who tries to push his way through, but a loss of 2. And that's Zach Yassine.
What a play.
Zach Yassine is a guy who they felt like was an interior lineman who needed to make some noise. All the attention usually will go to Kelby Givens, so they needed someone else to step up along that defensive line.
And he showed an explosive first step there. So right now they've got the beef in there. Big number 67 for Southern. He's a run stopper. He weighs 375 pounds. You're not moving him. So what do you do if you play next to him? Get off the ball quickly. Number 91 in the center of the defense for Southern.
Harris to pass, open man, and touchdown, Kyle Morgan from 3 yards out, and the Eagles extend their lead.
You know, when you get plays like that, you start to wonder, how did he get so wide open? And it was a great job of just faking the run protection and patience to get across the formation.
4 trips to the red zone in the last 5 drives. This one ends in a touchdown, much like the first. We added a field goal as well. And now the score, 24-14 after the extra point made by Caleb Robinson.
So when somebody scores a touchdown like that, you have to question, how did it get so wide open? Where did Kyle Morgan come from? And it was a good job by the deception that they used to find a way creatively for him to get open, and a little bit of acting that goes along with it. So let's take a look at the touchdown. That's the celebration he's going to give us. That's kind of cool, a little David Crockett, like a pioneer type. But I want to show off the football player. So here's what we're going to see. This is Morgan right here. Now what you're going to see him do is come all the way across the formation, but he's going to fake a block, and then finish the route all the way over here. That's why I say a little bit of acting. So take a look at Kyle Morgan. Oh, I'm going to block you, I'm going to block you. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going across formation. That's how he got so wide open.
That was easy, and I think that was the, what do you think, Captain Morgan? Kyle Morgan, Captain Morgan, come on. Yeah?
You're telling on yourself right now. What is Captain Morgan?
It is a libation.
Is that like Captain Hook or something? Or?
It's a libation.
Oh.
So much fun up here. Let's send it down to Q.
Trey Oliver, head coach of North Carolina Central, emphatically high-fiving his offensive line after that last touchdown. You can see his emotion. This is kind of the foundation of the team is the O-line. It's a team that brought in 5 new coaches and a new chaplain. But coach says he can lean on this veteran offensive line.
Q, did you just say 5 new coaches and a new chaplain?
Yes, I did.
That's shame right there.
The 5 guys that he has playing O-line are kind of setting the tone tonight. I don't think North Carolina Central has punted today. And if they have, maybe only once.
They have not. You're absolutely right. But about Coach Mack, that new offensive line coach for the Eagles. You know, Trey Oliver said, look, he's been unbelievable. And these O-linemen came in ready to go. And he's worked with some really good assistants before, but he says Coach Mack standing out.
And a good team's going to make you pay for some type of turnover. It was a shank punt, 7-yard punt that they took advantage of.
Trey Holly, though, is going to try to gain some oomph back for this Southern offense.
We talked about the balance of Christian Mosley for North Carolina Central. What about this balance right here? Comes into a pile, able to get outside the pile. When one guy can't bring you down, that makes you a very dangerous running back.
Holly closing in on the century mark, and you just see what he can offer. Remember, Irv Mulligan, who was special for Jackson State last year, the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. Holly has that potential as a flag comes out at the end of the play. Jakari Martin on the coverage of the wideout from the Jaguars.
And I'm going to say it again. One thing I've seen from Cameron McCoy, pretty deep ball. When you give him one-on-one on the outside, he throws a catchable pass.
Pass interference, offense, number 18, 15-yard penalty, second down.
And it's the junior wideout, Malachi Jackson, who was called for the infraction.
I mean, you know, is there a push-off or separation? No.
There was a little
you got to let him play football. You got to let him play football. And it was incomplete pass. You know, when you got a big wide receiver. Where is Matt Austin? Matt, are you available? Is that pass interference, or am I just being too offensive-minded?
Let's just say it was an extremely technical call. He did extend his arm. He did get a little bit of separation, but they were hand fighting. So I don't like the call, but I see why the official called it.
Thank you, Matt. I need you with me all the time.
Okay, look, we can't have Matt co-signing you all the time. You already got this black jacket. Okay, yes. We don't need to swell that head some more, man.
Well, I mean, I think it goes what they say. You know, there's a penalty on every play, but the better officials realize if it made an impact on the play. Technically, you could always call it, but I think in a game like this, Southern's in the trail position, down by 10. You call offensive pass interference on this right here, you can call it on the defender right there. He's grabbing his hand in his jersey. Give me a no whistle. Is there such a penalty as a no whistle? Matt, I wonder if Matt can come up with a no whistle.
Yeah, we had a lot of no whistles in my day.
I want Matt with us all the time, too. Come back. Well, he'll be with us throughout the season on our college football games across our ESPN networks. Different crews listening every weekend. As it's Kobe Brown, and Brown, who stood up, a number of white jerseys around, about pick up a couple of yards, and now third down upcoming.
And I need to get out of the way, you know, because I believe you got to think these coaches and players work so hard during the offseason, and to have like a drive. You know, you go 3 and out on a no call. If they don't convert this right now, you have to feel like, wow, that's a really tough break Southern University got.
And it's one of those things, remember, they've got a couple of quarterbacks, so we knew McCoy was the dual threat, and you've seen him throw a nice deep ball. Jalen Woods also waiting on the sideline. Could we see him as they're in the trail position down by 10? Third and long. McCoy gets it out underneath. That's Holly. He can do a lot. Gets past the original line of scrimmage. Gain of about 11, but it's going to be short and bring up fourth down.
Yeah, you wonder, would you see Woods? I mean, I thought for sure we would see Woods because he's the local kid from College Park, Georgia. It's like a homecoming for him of sorts.
He was the presumed starter coming into fall camp. A QB battle with Cam McCoy, the transfer coming in. 6 games last year, missed last year's SWAC championship game due to concussion. They were really excited about Woods' progression this year.
And for a freshman quarterback, those are great numbers. For a guy that was a freshman going into a sophomore year, threw more touchdowns and interceptions, almost 60% completion percentage.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And I say that to say I'm surprised we've not seen him in this game, you know, in the first half. But McCoy got hot early with that big explosive run. And then the special teams from Southern, obvious delay of game. They need to settle down. Don't see that lull got them, that halftime lull. Coming out the locker room a little bit flat. Now you find yourself down by double digits.
Daryl Taylor back to receive it for the Eagles. Lets it bounce off the bounce, picks it up, and Taylor tries to get up and go. And then it's popped. 44-yard punt, 7-yard return. A little more than 8 minutes to go in this one. We'll see the Eagles offense when we return.
Tiffany Green threw out the first pitch for the Atlanta Braves game, representing the HBCU. Right-hander, Steve Reichel, a little of a sinker, splitter. Tiffany representing this MEAC SWAC challenge. All smiles. Jay, former pitcher yourself, offer her some tips.
Well, she paused in her windup. Windup has to be a fluid motion. You go back, then you go forward. But she actually, you told me that you got it over the plate. The replay, clearly, as we're watching you right here, look at the replay. Yeah, we got you. We got you. You told me the ball crossed the plate.
It did.
No, it did not.
It was...
Kim Belton, cue that up again. Cue that up again. That ball skipped. That ball skipped short of home plate. Your catcher, ooh, big hit.
Coming in immediately, Mike Jones from that will linebacker position with the tackle on Kyle Morgan. You just stay with the action on the field.
I'm going to break it down. Yeah, we're going to see what you're doing. Let's see what you did wrong. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
What is this right here with your arms? Show me the arm on. They're all over. And then take a look at that. Oh, that's short.
Are you kidding?
That's short.
I thought that was pretty impressive. I thought I was doing a little something. Like, I used to throw at my parents' ottoman all the time, so I was just working on, like, what Quint said, like, sinking. I was going to give him...
We're not throwing a sinker.
Yeah. I was just wanting to chase outside.
So let's get this right. Let's see if we get this right. We're going to see, did it cross home plate? Look at that ball. Look, this is right here. That ball's on the ground. That is short. That's short, Tiff. Come on.
Come on, man. Well, you got to hate, but...
See, now you would be mad. You would be mad if I said you should have thrown underhand like softball. Then you'd have been mad because you're a great softball commentator.
Thank you. But I was on the rubber, okay? Right? So from 60 feet away. I thought, look, I ain't 50 cent. That's all I'm going to say. And the breakaway once more from Chris Mosley. And Chris Mosley, who's brought down by Mike Jones Jr., continuing to have an outstanding night, 14-yard gain, adding to his run total on the ground of 170 yards.
Good balance, and we see the balance. Before we close it out, what was that feeling like for you to throw out that first pitch at a Major League ballpark?
Oh, it was a pinch-me moment. I grew up a baseball fan, so it meant the world to me, and to represent HBCUs, my alma mater, Florida A&M University, and all the wonderful historically black colleges and universities. But I got to ask, you throw out the first pitch? All right, Walker Harris on the throw and the reception there from Mekhi Wall.
Great
and
protection.
A first down inside the red zone.
The offensive line did a great job of protecting, particularly number 70, Taryn Williams, comes in playing right tackle. He replaced Jaquan Sprinkle. Look at number 70, going against Kelby Givens. He puts him in the ground. Now, if you can neutralize Kelby Givens like that, that's going to give Walker Harris time. Great execution by the offensive line and the offense of North Carolina Central.
The real MVPs tonight, the guys up front, as you mentioned, Jay, 5th trip in the red zone, 1st and goal. And they hand it off once more. Mosley moving up ahead down to the 2-yard line. Both teams with 200-plus yards on the ground, but it's a point of pride when we got a chance to talk with some of the Central players about how they feel of their impact on this team. Trayvon Humphrey, A.C. McMorran.
Timeout.
Southern spins a timeout. Talk about A.C. McMorran, how important he is. Noah McKinney, the passion we saw from him, and the leadership as well. Teron Williams been in this system.
And then the newcomer, Ali St. Melis. Well, I'll have that right by the time the season goes along. But Division II transfer, moved up and got a starting role on that line. That's a really good group there, and that's why there's a confidence in North Carolina Central that they're on to something.
Well, here's our Sunday Night Baseball matchup as the series finale between the Red Sox and the Yankees get going 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at the special time of 5:30 Eastern with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown.
And not pitching for the Red Sox or the Yankees, Miss Tiffany Green.
Hey, look, there's some balls in the dirt, okay? That's all I'm saying. Second and goal for North Carolina Central.
Good back in the backfield, Arthur Rogers.
He gets the carry, and a flag comes out in the end zone. A couple of them.
Illegal substitution, defense. More than 11 players on the field at the snap. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Well, the body language right there of defensive coordinator Henry Miller says it all.
I mean, take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, says my Howard University math. That's crowding the line of scrimmage right there. It would have been even worse if they would have scored, though.
Yeah.
I've seen people have 12 guys on the field and still allow a team to score. Get a ball, Arthur Rogers hard up the middle unless they're going to do some type of push. Oh, they flinched.
Some movement up front from North Carolina Central. St. Mellis, the right guard, may have
big
moved.
penalty if that's on Central.
False start. Offense. Number 50. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Let me tell you a little pet peeve, something I figured out as a quarterback. When I'm backed up and I have the ball inside my own 5-yard line, I'm doing a lot of hard counts. What's a hard count? On 1, on 2, on 3. When I'm going inside 5, I don't want to do the hard count because if we jump off sides, it's more costly to the offense than the defense. So on the 1-yard line, don't do a hard count because now you're 5 yards back. And this becomes more challenging.
Instead of half the distance, now on the 6-yard line, the toss out. And that's an easy score in for Alina Maggio. A 6-yard punch in, and the Eagles keep soaring.
They didn't recognize it, and it was a great job schematically. North Carolina Central able to pull the right side of their line, got a tight end out there along with the tackle. And you'll see here, take a look at number 70, number 83. That's the entourage. That's the crease. They opened up the lane. That's Taryn Williams, who's coming and done a really good job in the backup role at right tackle, along with Luke Bracey, leading the entourage into the end zone. And right now, it seems like, what did they say in Durham? Eagle Pride Amplified.
Well, they've made way for 3 different running backs to get into the end zone. We first saw Arthur Rogers Jr., then Chris Mosley, and now Eleni Maggio. And stretching out this lead for North Carolina Central. 21 unanswered points for the Eagles. And if you're just tuning in, these are 2 teams. Central, MEAC runners-up for the last couple of seasons. A lot of expectations and a lot of experience. You talked about that offensive line coming back for the group. On the other side, Southern, who's been itching to get here to Atlanta. Won the SWAC West Division 2 out of the last 3 years. And they're hopeful that this year they can take it over the hump. But this is a wonderful early season test and a great opportunity to make a statement to open up the 2025 campaign.
Yeah. 2 teams that I had ranked in my top 5 in the power rankings, expecting to make some noise this year. North Carolina Central looks really good. A lot of football left to be played, but with that offensive line, they seem to be as good as advertised on the offensive line. Worried about the chinks in the armor and their run defense, though.
Well, this is what North Carolina Central did last year. An 8-3 record, finished right behind South Carolina State. And Trey Oliver had a special running back in Jamari Taylor. Put up the most points per game along with the ground game as well. Incredibly effective. 8 players named to the preseason conference team, as this year they're picked to finish behind South Carolina State again, but they're letting Chennis Berry and all of the MEAC know what they may have in store for this season, as Cam McCoy once again takes off. Well, he has been excited when he tucks it and runs it. You got to hold your breath.
Edge of your seat type runner from the pocket. And you know, he's what you're going to see in the future of college football. This is what they want. Guys that can look, it's not there. The defense does their job. But once he breaks contain, he's not rushing for 4 or 5 yards. He rips off runs in chunks. The defensive coordinator's nightmare.
Well, he had that 69-yard touchdown run. That pushes him over 100 yards on that last carry. And now the handoff to Mike Franklin. They go back to where they were effective early to start the game. But do you like this strategy, understanding you're trailing by some scores?
I like Lightning. If Lightning's on the field, I do that. I mean, you know, Thunder, you hear the Thunder coming. Right now, when Thunder's in the backfield, and Franklin's a good short yardage guy, you know, he's going to be physical. But when Trey Holly's on the field, I mean, you almost get the feeling you can give him a draw play, and he can hurt you. When I played for the Vikings, we would put Robert Smith in our 2-minute offense, and Robert couldn't catch to save his life. But he could get a screen pass and take it the distance, and you had to respect it.
Donquarius Parker takes down McCoy. Now look, you're talking about what a teammate and what it means to be a teammate, and look.
That's DBs. DBs always going to make sure they're
Wade Harris is like,
that's
man,
DB to DB.
Make sure I'm good. Jelani Vassal's like, I got you. No problem, bro. They got to be pretty back there.
Yeah, they try to stay clean. They're going to have each other's back, make sure the towels, they'll go get their towels for each other. Not surprised there was a defensive back helping another DB when it comes to uniform correction.
On 3rd and 10, Trey Holly in the game, and McCoy swept out of the pocket, giving chase a couple of Eagles defenders. And 4th down upcoming for the Jaguars. So we talk so much about Central's offense, their offensive line. What do you think about this D-line for the Eagles?
They're good. I mean, they're good. Anytime you give up the rushing yards that they do, you kind of have to have some questions on that, because ultimately when teams run the football, it's because they're winning their battles at the line of scrimmage. But with Thomas Johnson, we know he's a proven commodity, and he's a good run stopper in there to go along with Max Urin.
Jaguars punt it away. And just letting it roll. Favorable bounce for the Jaguars inside the 20.
All right, so let's play a little football. A little football one-on-one. This is all 22, right? Here's what you have to learn. Down on this field, look from this hash mark over, how many defenders do you see? You see 1, 2, and the possibility of 3, or he's a hash mark area. Where's he? So what are you thinking? You've got a play call with 3 guys up top. Look when where's he looking?
To the bottom.
And how many guys are over there? Outnumbered. Mentally, that's what you can't do. That you're throwing the ball uphill. So that's what I said on that previous play. You have to know where to go with the football. And that one there, that's just, you don't have a chance. The defense wants you to go to the right.
Mosley with the gain of 1 on the carry. Well, Jay, not getting too far ahead, but in looking at what Central will be up against this season, obviously we know that they'll face off against a number of non-conference opponents. New Hampshire, it's going to be one that they're going to be mindful of. But again, what type of statement is this sending to the rest of the MEAC?
They're a good squad. You know, we knew they would be good. And the MEAC, you know, it's such a sprint. South Carolina State doesn't care what they're doing right now. Morgan State doesn't care what they're doing right now. But I'll think about with Central, though. I mean, they're going non-conference. They're taking on Florida A&M down in Tallahassee, playing New Hampshire. I think they're doing that game like if you get the win there, if you don't make it to the Celebration Bowl, then you have an opportunity to play in the playoffs and get that invitation there. So I think that's a smart move by not only Trey Oliver, but athletic director Skip Perkins as well. It takes a conscious effort to say, you know what, let's cover all of our bases.
Well, that was what they did back in 2023, made it to the FCS playoffs, but they notched that win on the road at a ranked New Hampshire team. They're hoping And they can put together some impressive non-conference wins heading into that short season in the MEAC. As that could have been a lot more dangerous than we would have expected. Elijah West with a tackle on Mosley.
I wouldn't be surprised if they let this go to the fourth quarter before they decide to punt it. And that gives me one last chance. You know, talk about HBCU and all that. I just want to let you know that former Prairie View A&M head coach Bubba McDowell said at least you did a better job than Stephen A. Smith with that first catch.
Thank you. And we will take it to break. In the third quarter through 3, it's been North Carolina Central pounding their chest, feeling good here in Atlanta. Fourth quarter action on the other side. Coverage of the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Looking to his team, gathered them all together on the field, understanding there's 15 minutes remaining. What kind of heart can he pull out of this group, and letting them know the urgency that is on the other sideline. Q caught up with Trey Oliver from North Carolina Central.
Coach, you're in the middle of that circle. What'd you say?
That's fourth quarter. We have 15 minutes left. We cannot watch the scoreboard. Do not look at the clock. Just play one play at a time and can finish the game.
How would you best describe the play of your offensive line?
They're solid. They're solid. We still left a little bit out there, but I thought our offensive played really well. We got into our red zone, got a fumble, and then settled for 2 field goals. But I'm really pleased with the offense. Defense couldn't tackle in the first half, but playing much better in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Knowing the pulse of your team, right? That's what it is. And the defense didn't tackle well, but they shored it up a little bit and then gave the offense a chance to do what the offense does. I mean, this is a Central offense that averaged 35 points a season ago. Looks like they're going to hit their number. And good coaches know if we hit our numbers, we should win ball games.
You see that culture over scheme on his shirt. Trey Oliver, Terrence Graves know each other very well, 20-plus years. They're originally from the same area, in that Tidewater area. Grew up in the CIAA. Oliver at North Carolina Central, Graves at Winston-Salem State. His Jaguars back on offense. And the pass complete outside to Hicks. And Hicks, who is a guy who knows the system. So you're looking at Cam McCoy on display after that 12-yard gain for a first down. 5 of 8 through the air. He's been more dangerous through the legs. Do they stay with him for the duration of the season?
No, it's week to week. I mean, as a quarterback, you're judged by wins or losses. And although McCoy's look good, you know, right now things aren't looking well for him getting a win. But, you know, I think you also have to, you know, look at the style of play. I mean, this is a team that's built behind their offensive line. They're going to have a star in the running back position. And Trey Holly's great. Mike Franklin's great. They got some skill position guys. So they're still going to find themselves. You know, they're going against a really good football team. You know, one of the premier teams out there. And they've shown some signs that they're going to be a force to reckon with.
McCoy completes his pass into the hands of one of the receivers and a first down. Well, all 6 episodes of The Kingdom are available now, streaming on ESPN app and Disney Plus. The Kingdom. The question is Patrick Mahomes still the best in the business?
Best what?
Quarterback.
Best what?
Quarterback.
Oh. You're going to make me say no on national TV, but would he be my first pick? No.
Who is your first pick? My guy. I got a guy. You tell me what you think.
Okay. You going to put it out there, or you want me to guess it?
Well, no. I was just waiting for the play to unfold, to carry it from Trey Holly. I happen to be a Josh Allen fan.
Okay, I mean, that's taking chalk. That's taking chalk. You can have Josh Allen. I'll take Lamar Jackson. All right, dual threat. We're talking about why we're seeing McCoy out here instead of Jalen Wood, but Allen can run the rock. But I'm a personal guy who I really like. The guy I'm a fan of is Joe Burrow.
Okay,
you know,
Joe cool.
I mean, Joe Burrow. I've seen Joe Burrow be the most sacked quarterback in the NFL and still take his team to the Super Bowl. who can do that? So quarterback play. But Patrick Mahomes, obviously up there, fantastic career. Got a new hairstyle, too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He got a fade, cut the top off, so.
And when you think about quarterbacks, obviously, you think about, I'm transitioning here. We're in Atlanta, and so Michael Vick was an explosive and an outstanding quarterback drafted by the Atlanta Falcons back in 05. Now he's going to be leading Norfolk State. We'll get an opportunity to see him next week lead the Spartans, and going for it on 4th and 2 are the Jaguars, and they're able to convert. And this plays in a lot of different ways. Coaching debut for Vick. Remember how special he was at Virginia Tech, 3rd in the Heisman voting, went on to have a 13-year career in the NFL. And I said 2005, I meant to say 2001, #1 overall draft pick by the Atlanta Falcons.
And we're going to see him Thursday in Norfolk as he makes his.
In and out of the hands of Darren Morris. Morris, who had a step, and Demo could not hold it in.
Another accurately thrown deep ball.
I was going to say, you couldn't ask for more from Cam McCoy right there as Morris comes up limping.
You know, the great receiver's going to make this catch for you. I mean, that ball, that's how many balls, deep balls, have we seen hit off the gloves and the fingertips of Southern wide receivers? They're leaving some huge plays on the field, and when they watch film, they're going to realize they have an opportunity to make some game-changing plays.
Urine and Thomas Johnson in on the stop.
So speaking of Michael Vick, you know, the question, and I'm sure you get it as well, what do you think about the Michael Vick hire at Norfolk State? I'll go you first.
I think it's a terrific hire. I mean, he's got roots in that Hampton Roads area, and he has just re-energized the Spartan community. I think we're going to see a great crowd at Dick Price Stadium, and he's going to help to elevate and take this Norfolk State program to another level. I think they got it right.
So is it the Deion Sanders type hire Jackson State that people want to know? Is this the next Deion type hire?
Off his back foot. I'll tell you, after this, that was a flag coming out there at the end. Tamondre Braxton on the coverage. Cam Jefferson, though, fell in the process. And that's likely going to go against the Eagles.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Back to your question, Jay, I do think it is the Coach Prime effect, because we heard from him and Deshaun Jackson at Media Day back in Baltimore that, look, that's our big bro. We saw him do it, so we feel like he has the blueprint and we can follow in line with.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting thought. I think, you know, I always say there's only one Deion Sanders. In the history of sports, there may be two of them, him and Bo Jackson. Going to make a good tackle here. Nice tackle in the open field by Braxton. But, you know, I don't, if that's done, but I do think it's smart, because you talked about the ties there, and I think that people don't realize Norfolk State has the second largest HBCU football stadium. 30,000 folks. So if he can pack it there, that'll get that excitement going there.
Well, there's some excitement here from this Southern offense, continuing to drive the ball down the field. That play whistle dead.
False start offense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So
people, will you please stay clear of the play clock back there?
So the ref get a little hot. Well, So are we judging Deion by what he did? Because at the end of the day, Deion did not win an HBCU national championship at Jackson State. He did not.
He made it to the Celebration Bowl 2 times, won a couple of SWAC championships, and really helped to elevate an already strong and tradition-rich program at Jackson State. And he just lent his star power to the university, and that program bolstered, and we see the effects of it now, and fall on the ground, and that's Thomas Johnson who comes up with it. That was a swarm of white jerseys around McCoy.
miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback. So McCoy thought that the wide receiver was running run route. He ran another one, and then he tried to make something out of nothing. Miscommunication between Morris and his quarterback. What does that lead to? Miscommunication. Nothing there. Tough play.
Brought to you by Truist. It's Chris Mosley of North Carolina Central been putting in that work. 177 yards on the ground on 16 carries.
Yeah, averaging 11 yards per carry every time he touches the football. Kamen was a difference maker. They knew they had to replace a great runner that they lost from a season ago, with Mosley showing, hey, I can be that guy. Good job running behind his shoulder pads, low pad level in the offensive line. He'll be the first to compliment him. It was a group effort, but we're giving the spotlight to Chris Mosley. Getting the job done, toting the rock for the Eagles.
You saw that 49-yard run for touchdown tonight for Mosley as the Eagles back to work, and so is Mosley still going. You have talked about his balance, but they've also loved the change or the improved vision that he adds. We saw him come in a lot last year as a change of pace guy, but he is just showing he can be an all-around back, Jay.
Yeah, you have to know where you can bounce to. Don't run in there and spin, and you got three guys coming. That's that vision you need to say, well, if I break away from this tackle, I've got some daylight to the outside. And this could get interesting because he's had a great night, and with Central having a big lead, you have to think he's going to get some more carries.
That one zung in there. Zung, not even a word, but Quentin McCall with the reception. And first catch for him tonight. And a guy who's coming off of injury, they're happy to have him back healthy after tearing his ACL at the start of preseason back in 2024.
A little surprised to see North Carolina Central doing a little tempo here in this situation. But now they ease off the gas pedal a little bit. Time to milk some clock, give Chris Mosley some more carries.
This one into the hands of Darrell Taylor. Taylor, who's struggling, that one comes out. Was he down on the ground, Jay?
That was close. He was really fighting to get extra yardage, and so often it's that second effort. It's a pretty good tackle. Well, I can see him being down, though, probably. Give the officials credit for what they do. They see it close in live action, but so often, how often do we see the second, third effort get ball carriers in trouble?
So a yard to gain. Got to get to the 50-yard line. Here on second down. Harris back to pass. Feels the pressure, and he goes down. That's Shamarlo Campbell.
And just miscommunication by the offensive line when they were finally able to get there. We know that Southern wanted to bring some pressure and some blitz. One of the few times they were able to get to Walker Harris.
So first sack of the night for the Jags.
But you still have a chance with Southern playing so much man-to-man coverage. You still have a chance of converting this.
Little screen action right there to bring down Mosley, or Rogers rather, is Zach Yassine.
Yeah, great job. He realized that the offensive line was letting him get to the quarterback a little bit too quick from his defensive tackle position. Recognized the screen, tracked down the ball carrier. Otherwise, that play had big yardage written all over it.
Yassine, who has made a couple of good plays here tonight. Walker Harris right to his right is Davius Richard, former two-time MEAC Offensive Player of the Year. Now the quarterback's coach. And Brown on the fair catch. And the officials, Mike Wyan Myers comes on. You heard no need for that. We see the flag back near the 36-yard line. We will find out more right here. And you see the patch on the wrist. It's for Eddie Kelly. Passed away. Was head of officials for the SWAC.
After the play, personal foul, receiving team, number 32, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, North Carolina Central.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
Good flop. It was a good flop.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessary.
He was acting like he was going to block him. But
we'll step aside here as Southern will have the ball when we come back, and we'll tell you more about a special king.
Atlanta, we'd like to introduce you to Jennifer King. She's an offensive analyst and assistant coach coaching the wide receivers for North Carolina Central. After a 5-year career in the NFL, Washington and Chicago, she's now on staff for the Eagles. She handles game management, clock management, analytics, and she works in the wide receiver room.
Hey, I am now mic'd up as well, so we're both the fans. We both hot. We both hot one. Big plays all day, Spikes. Big plays all day, Spikes. Nobody better, 3. Nobody better, boy. Nobody better. Hey, I'm gonna have to dump you now. Hey, I'm gonna have to dump you. All right.
And you can't ask for better access than that. You understand the significance of King, first black woman to be an assistant coach in the NFL, and comes out of that North Carolina area. Went to Guilford College, and so there were some times that was nearby North Carolina A&T. And just found her way to Durham, North Carolina. What's it been like with her?
Well, Tiff, she played basketball in college and then semi-pro, and somehow she met Ron Rivera. And she interned with the Carolina Panthers and then Washington, and finishing up with Chicago. So she has brought NFL drills, those individual workouts and the drills to the wide receiver room at North Carolina Central. So that's always a huge benefit. But you can see her pregame, the way she not only was coaching scheme and the tactics and the techniques, but she was coaching people. And that's great to see.
JK, as they called her, Trey Oliver said, look, she helps with game management. She's very knowledgeable and obviously knows the numbers. He says, I want to see her, too, go with the gut just as well.
And she's on analytics. But, as a football player, when somebody knows ball, as we say. And hearing her lingo, nice release there, too. That's pretty tight. I bet you that spiral was pretty good form. But you can tell when somebody knows football. Yeah. And her being around those guys down there, using the terminology, and there's a place for that and getting your point across when she could sit there and let you know, hey, analytics are now become a part of all sports. So you have to have somebody that understands analytics. It's not always what you see, but then going with your gut. So good addition, and kudos to Miss King.
And first look at Jalen Woods coming in now at quarterback. You mentioned played half a dozen games last season as a freshman and back in the metro Atlanta area out of College Park. And he gets in some reps in time. And again, we will likely see a mixture of McCoy and Woods at QB this season for the Jaguars. Well, folks, we're very excited about this. The all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports, all of ESPN, all in one place. Live games, live stats, plus because you're an LA guy. That's cool. I'm a Cubs fan, so it's cool. Pass complete to Dupree Fuller. Fuller with his first reception of the night, the tight end the graduate now with Southern. Yeah.
I mean, obviously not a fan of Rick Sutcliffe because you didn't throw the ball over the plate.
I was a Greg Maddox fan.
Yeah. Greg Maddox is brave.
Yes, but he was a Cup first.
I mean, nobody's doing
that's fine.
Nobody's doing that.
That's when I was watching. Thank you.
But you'll put the Cubs on there. I'm looking forward to the app. Nice throw.
Right in there, Malachi by Jackson, but we saw a penalty marker near the 25-yard line. And that was just a great example of why Mark Frederick was excited about Jalen Woods.
Holding offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Jay, break down that throw.
Yeah, I mean, this is the key. We've seen quarterbacks throw, but we haven't seen a throw like this from Southern University all day. And what I mean by that, stood in the pocket and delivered a strike. We've seen Cameron McCoy throw the deep ball to the outside portion of it, but, in terms of a pure throw, this is a pure throw. I mean, you see him, he's looking, going through the progression, step up, find a throwing lane, and deliver a strike. That's passing.
And once again, another completion to Dupree Fuller. Who was your favorite guy? I mean, because you're in the Black College Football Hall of Fame from Howard University. You used to, litter it all over the field.
Yeah, for quarterback-wise, who did I try to emulate?
No. Who were you trying to throw to? Who were your guys? That helped to make you look good. We'll hear more. You get a chance to think about it, okay? Chance to think about it. 2-minute timeout right here from Center Park Stadium.
The Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff is brought to you by Cricket 5G.
Welcome back to the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. The different neighborhoods. We were hanging out in Midtown yesterday. Buckhead was obviously one of the popular destinations, and a great look at the skyline. Oh, that's one of your favorite hotels, Jay.
Yeah, walking distance get me to two of my favorite spots. Fellowship, fellow quarterback Cam Newton's Cigar Lounge.
Atlanta just plays a great host for a little bit of everything. Invest Fest is in town, 25,000 plus people here. Obviously, the MEAC SWAC Challenge, a big draw. Southern University coming out of the SWAC always carries a very good crowd, but we have seen ever since the Celebration Bowl back in 2016 with North Carolina Central, more and more fans keep coming out. Eagle Pride amplified, I'm telling you.
Yeah, even saw some Aggie fans, for North Carolina A&T had that run. They think they still run Atlanta, so as much as they hate to pull for North Carolina Central, they still kind of MEAC bred a little bit. And the weather didn't cooperate, but it was definitely hot Atlanta this weekend, right? A lot going on with the concert.
The weekend was
at the weekend, and you mentioned the Invest Fest or whatever. Scotty Scheffler's in town. They're playing golf right down the street for the FedEx Cup. I've been watching that over at East Lake.
A timeout on the field, so we will step aside here with them quickly. 1:44 remaining in the ball game from Atlanta, right? Back here in Atlanta, a number of upcoming games for week 1, and it will culminate with a big one. LSU, Clemson, top 10 matchup. Kate Klubnik, can he get it done? LSU, a lot of
Clemson come down the hill screaming at you. They got a good football team with that rock. But then when you talk about LSU, you're going to play them at night.
Right.
It's going to be a night game. And, one of my favorite stories is we did a game at Southern there, and they had billboards that said, "Children, remember Halloween is on Friday night," because Halloween took place on Saturday. So the whole city of Baton Rouge told the kids, you're going to trick-or-treat on Friday because nobody's home on Saturday.
Well, player down on the field for the Southern Jaguars, and it's Elijah West, who we've seen cramping a little bit earlier in this ball game, and the senior out of Albany, Georgia, down again on the field. Jay, I have to say, I think both of these coaches coming in understood that this is a week 0 game, so Good explanation there. But Jay, so teams get a little bit of a head start. Are you a fan of week 0 games?
If it's non-conference. If it's non-conference, play it, go out there and play it. Because if it's a conference game, you find yourself behind the 8 ball in the conference race, and you're not the same team you are week 0 than you are week 6, 7, through 14. So non-conference, I like this matchup here. I mean, let's think about it. This has been a hard-fought game, but both of these schools, win or lose, still have their conference play ahead of them. That's what's going to count.
Arthur Rogers on the carry, a new quarterback in Josh Jones. So get a look at the backup QB, although they'll keep it on the ground and likely take a knee from this point forward. But Christian Mosley, the story tonight for North Carolina Central, 182 yards and a touchdown. The all-around effort from this group, the offensive line, obviously the experience that they all return. The receivers did an outstanding job, and Trey Oliver and this coaching staff have to be pleased moving forward.
It's rare they all came back. I mean, you had a good ball club, 8-3 a season ago, lost a good running back, but looks like the one question they were worried about was running back, and Chris Mosley may be the answer. If he can keep running like he did tonight, look out, MEAC, you're all in trouble.
And restoring bragging rights to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference with a win here tonight in this MEAC SWAC Challenge. Look, Trey Oliver, since taking over in 2019, is 7-0 in bowls and classics and challenge kickoffs, and with the embrace of his old buddy Terrence Graves, saying, I just had to do it to you. 31-14, the final score for Matt Austin, Quint Kesnick, Jay Walker. I'm Tiffany Green saying we held it down in the A, and we out.
Stephen Mahenti will be with you here for the next